I'm Heather Wise. I'm a real estate agent with the George Group. I've been doing real estate for about 4 years, and I always knew I wanted to specialize in historic properties especially. I realized I was maybe a preservationist when I got your email. Um, I've always enjoyed historic homes and have done my best to help look after our historic neighborhood and the homes there, but had never really identified as a preservationist before, so I'm honored that y'all think of me that way. Um, I have a degree in history and Spanish. I finished up my education here in Alexandria, Pineville area at Louisiana College, and I've applied that in many different ways, from working with art museums in Spain to have an exhibition here, to looking up history on my listings and these old houses that I represent. As far as getting into real estate, I grew up in a real estate family. Everyone was commercial, residential, leasing, all of that in Houston. And I tried for a long time to find my own thing and ran from that. But then about 4 years ago, I gave in and took up the family business. So I'm really enjoying it. And I knew that as soon as I started doing real estate, I wanted to put my own spin on it. And that was definitely with historic properties. An average day for me as a real estate agent could look like anything. There's nothing average. You never know what your day is going to look like. I may be meeting with clients, previewing homes. I sometimes go down to the genealogical library and look up history or dig around in records in the courthouse, making videos, marketing properties. But it's just, you never know what your day is going to be like when you wake up. So whenever I'm getting ready to list someone's home, especially if it's a historic home, I walk through with them, identify the original features. I try to do a history on the house. People really like to be able to connect with these old properties, and if they know the story of them, that helps. So that helps me with my marketing and drawing in people that would really be attracted to it. Like this house we're in right now, the Cook House. Amazing history, always has been in the same family, and it's a landmark here in Alexandria. Everyone knows this house. So we just really try to market the story and find people that want to be part of that and be a new steward for the home. So if I'm working with a buyer, then we identify kind of what style they like, whether it's craftsman or colonial revival, or just whatever they need, what their interests are. Most people are they just want high ceilings and hardwood floors, and we can find that for them. So it's a lot of fun. I love exploring old houses, learning about the quirky little features, from phone niches to push button lights and bells under the dining room table to ring the butler. All of those things are so much fun. So it's enjoyable every day that I get to go explore new houses. Some challenges in real estate, especially with historic properties, it just breaks my heart when I see one that I can't save, that I can't make the dollars and cents work to interest someone into restoring it. I've seen some that they end up getting demolished or possibly made over in a new way or new fashion that kind of breaks my heart. So, but it's expensive to restore old homes and to maintain them. So very worth it, but I can't seem to make everyone see that. The most rewarding part would probably be when I can educate people on the different programs and tax credits and opportunity zones and different things to actually make a project come together and work. I have recently worked with a historic church in downtown Alexandria, Shiloh Baptist Church, and I was able to connect the buyer and seller, and it's going to have a new life completely. It's going to be a Central Louisiana History Museum, and it was a church that had been basically abandoned. So that's a huge win, and it makes me so proud every time I drive by. Someone wanted to break into real estate from the preservation angle, I would say educate yourself, network, meet people that know more than you, and ask questions. But there are so many ways to make it work, and so many programs, and take the small wins and be happy, because it can be discouraging overall when you see so many things that are getting run down. But so many good resources, and there's such a wonderful community of like-minded people that will help with just about anything for historic preservation. A great save or a favorite of mine would probably be, besides the Shiloh Baptist Church, I have a personal project going, which is an American Foursquare in the Alexandria Garden District, and I bought it from an old college professor of mine, and it was so original still, and I'm having such a good time seeing that come back to life. I was able to connect with a friend of mine who does the historic preservation tax credits, and she's helped me. Megan Lord's amazing and a great contractor, but it's a beautiful home and it's really coming to fruition. So the only way that it's possible to make it work with the dollars and cents is the tax credit program, because it has been expensive. But I'm gonna keep it for a rental for at least 5 years, and I'll be able to make that all work out. So as far as the discouraging side, sometimes a loss in preservation, I have, as a real estate agent, not always been able to find a buyer for a property that was preservation minded. And while I'm glad to see that it will be being used and lived in, oftentimes they tend to come in and strip the original features out that give it the soul. So that always really hurts my heart when I see that. But at the same time, whenever you're kind of in a neighborhood that's on its way back, it's sometimes it's hard to get the interest in all the areas to redo the homes the way they should be. So some resources if you are interested in old houses, redoing them, or just living in them and loving them, or finding the history. That's what most people ask me about, is how do I look up who lived in my house? The way I do it is usually by going down to the library or on Ancestry.com. City directories are invaluable. You can find out who lived in the house, almost every year, and then do a little research on the person's name. Sanborn maps are amazing. You can those are the old fire maps that they would outline, what was a porch and what was second story and what it was made out of, all those things. So it kind of helps you date your house and to know what was added and kind of the progression of the footprint. But just newspaper articles, Ancestry.com, things like that. You can find out a lot of information that way.